Have you ever tried to save some money, but then something unexpected happened and you had to use it? I know exactly how that feels. But in this video, I want to explain how you can still manage to save, become a saver, and start building your financial stability. But I don't do it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, then subscribe to the channel. No, I'm just kidding though, guys, but really help me grow my channel because there are a lot of people in Italy who have financial problems. And I know that salaries are low, I know that the cost of living has gone up, but that's exactly why it's become even more important to learn how to manage your money and save. Now guys, I've been through this too on my channel. If you don't know me yet, the video you find on the homepage is my story. So how did I go from 20,000 euros in debt to 10,000 euros in savings in 2 years? And all this with a regular salary? Guys, what was it before? It didn't happen recently, and I also tried several times to take control of my financial situation. I tried with paper, I tried with Excel sheets, I tried with different tools, and I didn't succeed on the first try. So this is the main thing to understand. I mean, you're learning something new, which is almost like learning a new job. Like you have to learn new skills. You have to start thinking differently. Because if you haven't managed to do it until now, it means that what you were doing wasn't actually leading you towards saving, towards your goals. Now you need to think differently, take different actions, and to do this it takes time, and above all, it takes attempts. So we also have to go through some small failures, which is the necessary path to achieve success. We're not talking about life success like fame, but succeeding at something. Tell me about a time when you wanted to learn something new, something you had never done before, and you succeeded? On the first try, that's rare. And it's the same thing with saving money, so that's kind of the first point. Don't get discouraged. You have to keep insisting, and above all, you need to learn from your mistakes and move forward. And obviously follow my channel because I'll help you do exactly that. Another very important thing to do to optimize this process of change is to stop judging yourself. Because when we make mistakes, when we can't do something, what do we tell ourselves? I can't do it, I'm not good enough, you're a failure, but that doesn't help. All these things definitely don't help you reach your goals, so stop judging yourself. You can do it at your own pace. The important thing is to try to move forward, despite the difficulties, taking small steps at your own rhythm in your own time. You also need to find your own method, because of course I share methods, solutions, and even my course on money management to help you learn how to manage and save. You can find the link in the description where I give you some tools, where I give you a method, but then what I do is give you different tools. Why? Because you have to find what works for you, right? It's not guaranteed that what works for me will also work for you. Then, of course, there are guidelines, some basic rules, but everyone needs to find the method that works for themselves. There are people who are more comfortable with cash, some with monthly planning, some with yearly planning, and some with weekly planning. Okay, there are several things you can do. The sure thing is that you need to reduce complexity. You need to try to do things in a simple way, especially at the beginning. Because since it's something you've never done before, if you start with something super complicated, it's even harder to succeed. In fact, the biggest mistake people make is wanting to do everything all at once. I mean, this also comes from the belief of those who maybe aren't used to building something or reaching goals. And that's the belief that change happens in a second or a day. Many people believe they must win the lottery or a scratch-off to get rich or change their lives. And so they spend a lot of money on scratch-off tickets because they think that having more money has to be a stroke of luck. It's not a stroke of luck. It's a slow process, but above all, we need to focus on one thing, because when we find ourselves in a situation like this, maybe we're frustrated, we're in a tough spot. We watch a video, maybe one of mine, since I inspire people, and say, that's it, tomorrow I'll change my life, you'll see, I can do it, I'll start saving. And you start doing 10 things, if not 15, if not 20, that aren't sustainable, that you can't keep up for more than a week. And what happens? You give up and quit, and you tell yourself, I'm not capable, I can't do it, it's too hard, come on, it's all nonsense, things like that. It's not like that. In coaching, they say a lot of the same things. I mean, if you want to do everything, you end up doing nothing. This also happens with dieting, often at the start of the year with good resolutions. No, it's kind of the same mechanism. Do a few things, actually. Start by doing just one, start with one. Once you've implemented that one well and it's become a habit, you move on to the second, then to the third, and then to the fourth. You could start simply like saving €1 a day. Every day I take my nice €1 coin and put it in the piggy bank. It's not a lot, but it's important because the first step is the most important one. The first step is what allows you to take more steps after that. In the end, you don't need to do anything extraordinary. I mean, when people ask me, okay, what's your advice for saving money and all that? Guys, there aren't any complicated things. I mean, when you learn to set aside 10% of all your income, you're good. It's very unlikely that you'll have money problems in your life. Set aside 10% of your salary 13th or 14th month pay and every €100 you receive into savings. This is a very simple rule, so there's nothing complicated about it. The other very important thing is to automate your savings, meaning having a tool that automatically, maybe on a certain day of the month, helps you set money aside. You shouldn't see that money at first, because what happens then? When your salary comes in, the first few times, let me know in the comments if you find yourself in this situation. You get your salary, you see the money, you're there on your online banking, you say, okay, now I'll set some aside. Okay, I'll set some aside. But maybe it's too much because then I have to do this, I have to do that. And then, wow, I'd also like to buy myself something. Okay, I'll wait a moment, handle these expenses first, and then see if I can set some aside. The following week or after a while, you find yourself, you see your account has gone down because obviously you made those expenses. Then maybe you had a little unexpected expense. And you say, see, damn it, now what do I do? Should I set some aside or not? Damn it, see, I should have set some aside earlier. No, well, come on, I'll wait. I'll do this thing because it has to happen, and then I'll set some aside. Time passes, the month ends, your money is gone, and you haven't saved anything. So at the beginning, you have to do forced saving. You have to take that money out as soon as your salary comes in. With an automatic tool, a recurring bank transfer, an app, something that helps you set this money aside automatically. One very important thing is to start with small steps, like I told you at the beginning. Even if you start by setting aside €1 a day, that's €30 a month. It's okay, don't focus on the amount, don't focus on the fact that it's little. You need to focus on the action, on the fact that you managed to set something aside without touching it. Now the important thing is not to start off at full speed and then fail to keep it up. Why? This can hurt your confidence, especially if you're new to saving and suddenly aim for €500 a month. It's obvious that then, even if after the first month, yes, you set them aside, but then you have to dip into them. Because you didn't do the math, because you made this mistake, you made that other mistake, and you have to dip into them. The goal is to get to the point where you can set aside at least 10%, but even this is a journey. Start with a small amount, something that's sustainable. It's €30 a month, that's fine. Set aside €30 a month, but you have to be sure not to touch them. Okay, it's 50, it's 100, whatever you want. The important thing is to start getting into the rhythm, to start building the habit, and exactly to make sure you don't touch them. To do this, another thing you can do is create a barrier between you and your savings, because if you have easy access to your savings, what could happen? I don't know, even if it's just a jar for clothespins, which is a jar you can open, instead of a piggy bank that's completely closed, which you have to break to open. You're already creating a barrier. Or you can put it in an account where you don't have a debit card, where you don't have easy access. Maybe you actually have to go to the bank itself, to withdraw that money. This is fundamental, besides the fact that it's essential not to have everything in the same place. I mean, if you really want to save, you have to start creating an emergency fund dedicated to unexpected expenses, dedicated to savings, where you take and move your money. The money for your daily life, for your monthly expenses, for your everyday spending, should stay in your main account. And then you need to have a savings account, which should be a separate account. Another very important point is to protect your savings from your self-saving. The biggest risk, the biggest obstacle is ourselves. What can stop you from reaching your goal? Yourself. So are you kind of your own biggest enemy? Especially at the beginning. I know very well that the beginning is the hardest part. I've been through it, guys. I've been through it too. I know exactly what it means. I'm not here pretending to be a teacher without knowing how hard you have to work. I know, but the fact is that after that, damn, life gets much easier. You'll be much more at peace. Just try to imagine what your life would be like if, for example, right now you didn't have any savings. What would life be like if you had €3,000 saved? Imagine having that 3,000 euro cushion, and so if your car breaks down or something else happens, you don't have to jump through hoops. You don't have to borrow money, you don't have to skip a bill, avoid paying this or that. You have that money, you just calmly take it and pay. Yeah, maybe it'll annoy you. Guys, we can leave this part out. Because getting pissed off when unexpected things happen, that's normal. But just try to imagine what your life would be like in this situation. It would be better. Okay, so in that first period, until I say the threshold is at least 2,000, 2,000, 3,000 euros. It's the first hurdle, the hardest one, but it allows you to have a little nest egg that can't be easily touched. Okay, because if you have 500 to 1,000 euros and your washing machine or dishwasher breaks, don't you already have to spend it? If you have 600 to 700 maybe, so you've basically used it all up. But if you have 3,000 and your dishwasher breaks and you spend 600, you still have a good amount left. Okay, you've built a solid foundation. And to help you understand how much I get you, I also want to talk to you about something else. And that's about the periods in life, because I know very well that there are times in life when bad luck just keeps piling up. Okay, when there's one unexpected thing after another, I know it very well because I'm going through it right now. And guys, it's been 5 months that I keep having some pretty major unexpected problems. I had an unexpected 700 euro expense, then about 6 weeks later, my dishwasher broke and cost another 800 euros. Soon after, another issue arose and I had to pay 750 euros. And the other day, another one happened to me where I had to spend 350 euros. So guys, unfortunately, these periods happen. The point is, if you have some money set aside, you deal with them differently. Cursing is guaranteed, guys. I've done quite a bit of it during this period. But above all, I also know that life goes in cycles. I mean, it can't be like this forever. If you're experiencing this, I know it might be harder, but you have to hang in there. You have to hang in there. You have to keep pushing and you have to keep moving forward. Because can you achieve financial stability? I guarantee you, because if I made it, you can make it too. And I have nothing special, nothing different from you. I mean, guys, I used to be a cook. I was a cook my whole life. My wife also worked in cafeterias. We have an apartment in a condominium. Very humble, like so many Italians, okay? So what's the point? It's not stopping at the first difficulties. I know it's hard, but until you create that solid base of 2,000 to 3,000 euros, you really have to fight tooth and nail. That is up to 2,000 to 3,000 euros. If something unexpected happens that's not vital, you must avoid touching that money. Here's an example. I've been through this, not now, but before. When I was building my emergency fund, our dishwasher broke and we were without a dishwasher. Why? Because I had the goal of reaching a certain amount. At the time, it was the famous 10,000 euros. And until I reached that amount, I basically didn't touch anything from my emergency fund. Why? Why? Because I knew that was my goal and I wasn't willing to lose because I had already suffered too much in the past. Do you know what it's like to feel bad when your fridge is empty and you can't buy groceries? Or when your son needs shoes and you have to make him wait? I know it very well because I have 3 children. I mean, my situation is like many others. Actually, maybe it's worse because I have 3 children. You might have 1 or 2. So, the expenses are lower, that's the point. I mean, if you dip into that money for every little thing, I know it's hard to save too. Until you reach the core amount, you have to be like a machine. I mean, whatever happens if it's not really vital and there aren't, first, you have to explore all the other possibilities, okay? It's always said that for every problem, there are at least 3 solutions. So before you decide to touch your emergency fund, you need to explore other possibilities. Do you understand what an emergency is? Alright, I find myself a side job, whatever there is, and I pay for those emergencies. I sell something I have at home and pay for those emergencies. I give up something for a month, I don't know. Or that month I go to work by public transport or by bike. I avoid spending money on gas, and with that money I pay for the emergency. You really need to be firm in this situation. Sorry if I talk too much, but this is the most important thing. I mean, you need to have your goal, and you have to be willing, I'm not saying to do anything, but almost anything in order to achieve it. Another thing that really helps is to give your savings a name. For example, instead of calling your emergency fund the emergency fund, you can call it the peace of mind fund or the tranquility fund. How important is financial peace of mind in your life? How important is it for you and your family to feel financially secure? I mean, if these things are important to you, you don't spend that money on every little thing because you know that money is for important things. Sometimes you just have to do it, and we know that. Like in Italy, where lately if you're sick and want to make an appointment for a checkup, they make you wait a year. If you can pay, you can get it done privately in 3 days. So maybe avoiding eating out, avoiding buying something, avoiding doing unnecessary things is essential, because then we have money for important things. Like health, for example. That could also be the name you give to one of your funds. Health fund. Why? Because I want health to come before everything else. I don't want to give it up. For years, I didn't take care of my teeth. Why? Because I didn't have money, and that's a good thing. No, absolutely not. It's the right thing. No, I know it's not right. I know, for heaven's sake, that things in Italy don't work. Guys, I'm the first to say it, but I'm also the first to say that you are the one responsible for your own life. I mean, I don't wait for others to save me, okay? I do my part to try to create what I want. This is also important. I mean, knowing that if you need to have an urgent checkup, you can afford to do it privately and you don't have to wait a year, okay? This is also something that's priceless. So guys, in conclusion, it's better to have a little, but consistently. Right now, you can set aside 20 euros a month every month, but you know you can be consistent and not touch them. Start with 20 euros a month. Don't try to go in there with the mindset of, I'm going to crush it. Now I'll save 1,000 euros in 30 days. Usually these things don't work. Start with a small amount, be consistent, and then gradually increase. Don't worry, you'll get there. There's no rush. The important thing is to achieve stability and peace of mind. That said, if I managed to inspire you with this video, leave a like, but most importantly, share it with your friends who might be struggling to save money. I'm in financial difficulty. Share it on WhatsApp. Share it on Facebook, by email, however you want. But if this video was helpful to you, help me spread my message by sharing this video. That said, I'll see you around.